1, 2,
All
3.
right, here we are.
Away we go.
No, I'm not. Hold on. Jeez.
Turn yours on.
Wow. First day on the job.
Battery's dead.
Wow, man, I'm going through batteries like crazy.
You want the other one?
Yeah.
Oh, that's yours. Note to oneself. Turn off microphone.
Turn off.
Headset.
1, 2, 1,
Turn
2,
off
1, 2.
headset.
There we go. All right. I think. Wow. That one's hot. Morning, guys.
Hey, how are you?
Good morning.
I think we're good. I think we have we got sound.
Let me promote your business.
So Wayne's pissed off as always.
Grumpy as
I'm
hell.
awake.
He's grumpy Trumpy is Wayne. And why are you mad today?
I'm mad because, well, I'm sad. I'm sad for all the people in Texas and all the parents that lost loved ones and all the people down there. I woke up this morning and saw some of the pictures of the kids that lost their lives. And like, all I can think about is the parents down there, the families.
Yeah, they got wiped out.
Oh my! It's just awful.
Yeah.
And I'm mad because the Democrats have to open up their mouth and blame it on Trump. So it's like, first thing out of their mouth, blame it on Trump. It's like I woke up with hemorrhoids this morning. I'm going to blame it on Trump. Stop the crap, will you? I'm tired of that nonsense.
The hemorrhoids in the crap stops. So just so you know,
It makes it hard. That's for sure.
The federal government cuts cause this. Oh my God.
Wayne, move over this way a little bit
Yep.
so we can blame it on Trump.
No, it's just
on Mike's right
it's just
leg.
insane. It's just tired of hearing about it.
Well, you blame the Democrats for everything. So what's the
No, I
difference?
don't. I just blame the Democrats for being stupid. Opening their mouth.
There you go. You see what I mean? But this is why we don't get anywhere. This is why we don't get anywhere because you got. Sorry, but you're like pissed off all the time at Democrats.
It's a lot of this.
There's a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, there is a lot of this, but I like to see more moderation.
Well, but when
You
you just said they're stupid, you're not
Well,
going to get any
when
moderation
they're
that
when they're
way.
saying stuff like this, they're blaming the Weather Service thing and the reports on Trump and they got records showing they reported everything. Unfortunately, it happened at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
when everybody was
Well,
asleep.
the National Weather Service said that they had reports out 12 hours before the storm even came. So
Yeah.
who's at fault here? Nobody's at fault. You can't stop the storm.
No, it's Mother
But
Nature.
to get people to prepare, and like you say, if it was at 1 a.m. and they were reporting this in the afternoon, people went to bed and didn't think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens.
And it's the same thing here. People typically like to stay in their homes
Right.
until the last possible minute,
And then it's too late.
and it's basically a human condition.
Those kids out camping,
So-
that's horrible.
But that's that whole thing with the kids. It's just sad. They showed a couple pictures of some of the two sisters that
Holding hands.
With
that
they were
lost.
holding hands, their
They were
hands are still
they're
locked
holding
together.
hands. Or another couple that were sisters that the parents lost. They had two daughters, and now they're gone.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just awful. I just can't imagine. I
No.
mean, I just look at my two granddaughters.
Yep.
I don't know what I do. I don't know how these parents are going to handle that.
Yeah,
There's
right.
going to be they're going to need a lot of help. There's going to be a lot of, and they talked about this last night, mental health. There's going to be a lot of
Sure.
grieving and a lot of that going on after they clean everything up and try and find all the bodies they can find. And that's just a bad job to begin with. But they got a lot of people volunteering. I saw one guy interviewed this morning, and he says, I just think about the parents that lost these kids, and if they were my kids, I want somebody out there looking for them too. So it's like there's got a lot of people down there doing that. So, yeah,
That's not a job I could do.
no, it takes a special kind of person to be able to do that stuff, and we do have some of those special kind of people around this town, so that are willing to do that.
Yeah.
Wonder if they had a CERT team down there.
I don't know if they did or not.
Would it have mattered?
No, because you had plenty of other people, helping neighbors,
Oh, God, you
friends.
probably got more of them than you do
know.
anybody else. Yeah.
You have, I
Friends and
forget how
neighbors?
many different types of organizations were
Sure.
working. There's quite a few organizations out down there helping and looking.
But if you read the news too, Trump put it out there, whatever you need, let us know.
Yeah.
And they requested Black Hawk helicopters, and they got them within an hour. So, you get boots on the ground. You can't wait.
No, it's and it's still raining,
Yeah.
and they're getting more rain. So it's it's awful. Talking about rain,
There was also an art. It was before you go. There was also an article about the rain down there too, and there was. I don't know if I saved it or not, but it had to do with the government and their cloud seeding, and evidently the fingers are being pointed. So I won't say it was intentional, but maybe they stretched science a little too far.
What do you mean?
Hmm?
What do you mean they stretched science?
Well,
a little too
if you play the game too long, it's going to turn around and bite you. You're playing with stuff you don't know about when you're up there seeding clouds and all that stuff to make rain and do whatever else they're capable of doing. And if they overdid it and it bit them in the ass, well, here we are, right?
Yeah. So speaking of the weather around here today, it's supposed to be wet. Chance of thunderstorms after 2:00, around 91 degrees, with the heat index values as high as 99. It's weird. The guy who created the heat index, he died just recently. He was 84, but he felt like 96.
I feel like 96 some mornings too.
I don't even know why I just see that one coming.
No, that was a good one, Mike. That was a good one.
Sorry.
I almost laughed at that one.
trying to get a smile behind those eyes, Wayne. We don't want you to.
It's just tough.
The
Last couple
bitterness
days.
is real.
Just watching what's happening down there. Just tough, I just feel lucky that.
See that. I mean, the human experience down there, what's going on, is terrible, right? And this isn't a Republican Democrat thing.
No,
99% of the crap that goes on that people start doing this has nothing to do with politics.
no, it doesn't. It's all about human beings and what they're going through, and we need to support
Unfortunately, there
support those people.
are
Anything
there
they
are
need.
rogue groups that do like to drag politics into everything, but
Well, isn't that what happens around here? They drag politics into everything.
no.
I don't think so. Do we? No. It's just basically
Just the fact that you're questioning it
No.
means yes.
I mean, you have to look at. I think it's just people have different ways of looking at things, right?
Mhm.
But we don't try to make personal attacks out of stuff
Mm.
like
There
they
are.
do on a national stage. They make personal attacks out of everything.
But there are personal attacks, local and national.
Like down in Texas, wasn't there a nurse or something who put a big rant out there about this whole situation that's going on and how how did she word it, something to the effect of if it was Trump supporters or it had something to go along them lines, and she basically blamed the whole thing and put it all on the backs of it was Trump and the Republicans or whatever. I forget how exactly it was worded, but yeah, she was pretty bad about it, and she lost her job for what she spoke.
I don't understand how any storm or any natural disaster like this could ever be blamed on any political person or any political
party
or any party or
Yeah.
anything like that.
Well, it's how you follow up with it, like the people in North Carolina when they got hit back in was that October
Mm.
with floods and storms and stuff like that. They didn't get any help. They were on their own. Texas isn't on their own. Texas is getting all kinds of help.
But my point is that there are a lot of times that something happens and they go, oh, it was the Republicans. Oh, it was the Democrats. Oh, it was the Green Party. Well, whatever.
Mhm.
But no, it's
Yeah,
true,
could be
right?
anybody.
And when somebody takes weather and blames that on a political party, well, that's pretty stupid.
You're out there, yeah.
I don't care who you're blaming.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you even rationalize that?
I don't know. Same thing as rationalizing when a plane crashes and you blame the guy in charge. Okay. Ow.
Mm.
I don't know.
What did he
I don't
do?
know.
How was he personally involved? Tell me.
Yeah. It's like, is this true or false?
So, what are your thoughts on this new political party that Elon Musk is trying to start called the America Party.
America Pie. I don't think he's got much out there about it yet that I've seen. So I don't know.
I personally, I've always thought we should have a third party,
There
strong
are.
party. There's a bunch of them, but they're not.
Got the independents.
They don't have the money or backing behind them to really make. I mean,
But there are many parties out there.
Yeah, you got the Independent Party, you've got Green,
Libertarians,
you've got
Green
Libertarians,
Party, you got all kinds of working
all
families.
Got the Anunnaki.
Yeah. You even got the Communist Party in America. There you go.
Yeah.
And socialists.
I just question, why is Elon doing it?
Maybe he feels that he has enough clapback to run whatever he thinks he wants to run.
No, apparently he doesn't like the other two parties. He's got a different
Is it the party or the people?
viewpoint.
Is it the party or the people?
Yeah.
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
it was like this with Trump. I don't think they even talk anymore, do they?
I think that's more of a personal thing.
I think they do.
Is this whole American Party thing, is it a personal thing, right?
Well, it's, Elon has a problem with the big, beautiful bill. All right. He thinks it's going to create more of a deficit. But I look at, and then when I just look at the guy who's in charge and what he's doing. Every time he tries to do something, they say it's going to be the end of the world. And then look at the tariffs. They're working out great.
Oh, yeah.
Look at what he's trying to do to stop wars and stuff like that. I mean, he's doing the best he can. It's better than sleeping on a john.
I don't know if it's really true or not, if it was just a Facebook gag, but there was a post on Facebook and it was a video, so I'm thinking it might have some backing behind it. But Netanyahu, I guess, nominated him for a Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah, I saw that.
Everybody said that somebody should, and I don't know. I saw something with Netanyahu on it.
I don't know.
Well, no matter what happens with any of this stuff, and I hate to say it, but it's true. No one has been able to prove me wrong yet, and I invite anybody to do so. Is that the minority now is the middle-aged white American male?
True or false?
Oh, I'm saying true all day long, and I'm not saying that out of any kind of anything. It's not sour grapes or anything. But tell me what the Caucasian middle-aged American male is eligible for in this world at all, compared to every other sect in this country. Every denomination, every religion, every race, everything.
I mean, if you've been disabled and you were a vet, you're eligible for several things.
Okay, I'm just talking about
just a regular guy, a regular Joe.
Yeah, like Mr. Canova
Joe,
here.
Joe Canova.
Yeah. What is he eligible for in this world? In this country? Seriously. And then tell me, no offense, what a 58-year-old Haitian is eligible for. Or
I don't know.
Or Czechoslovakian, or I'm just what I'm saying, or somebody from another country. What are they eligible for?
I don't know. What are you trying to say, that we're just privileged because of our race?
I don't think that makes
us. Say?
Yeah, I think that makes
we're not privileged.
Exactly the opposite.
Yeah. So anyway.
But like for example, Medicaid. That's a mental health disaster in that big beautiful bill. It's a mental health disaster. You want to talk about people that that aren't in institute or haven't been institutionalized or anywhere because they got them all kicked out. But let's just say people that are have clinical depression, and those types of afflictions, diseases, sicknesses. That's if they can't pay for it, what then? So, there's a ton of things, that we can sit here and go, okay, Democrats did this, Democrats did that. But what happens if your nephew, I don't even know if you have a nephew, but let's say your nephew or your niece who has clinical depression can't afford because they can't work, so they can't afford insurance, but they can get it through Medicaid, then it's gone. And that handles that handles their treatment and their medication. What do you do? And there's millions of people out there like that.
There's millions of people out there also riding the system too.
Okay.
So they're
I'm not asking you that question.
So no, I know you're not, but this is the issue. So I've been listening to a lot of the back and forth about it, but there are provisions. Before it was nobody ever checked anything with Medicaid or even Social Security or any of that stuff. Now they're checking stuff and seeing where the money's going. So now there's provisions for people actually going to get it. They follow the rules, they're still going to get it. Just that now you have to do something to get it.
They're gonna check every 6 months instead of annually now. That's what they're. One of
And
the
if you're
things.
capable of
I'm
working,
surprised they were doing it annually.
They want 20 hours of work or something out of you a month or something.
Yeah,
like
if you're
capable of
physically
working,
and mentally
right?
capable of working,
Do something.
they want people to do something to pay
Basically, you're not
into
going
the
to sit at
system.
home and ride the government. Yeah.
So it's the same thing as people that are physically able to work, but they choose not to because they can play the system, and we're paying for that.
They're starting to see through that.
And they're starting to see through that, and people are upset about it. And people are saying, "Are you against my rights?" No, because for us who have worked all our lives and put into this, put into the kitty,
And you got to fight tooth and nail to get something.
and then you got to fight tooth and nail, maybe get a check or something like that.
I dealt with it with my father when he went in the nursing home. It was horrible, a horrible experience. The man worked all his life, worked hard, and had to fight horribly and spend tons of money and a lawyer and everything, and just to get on the system in the last few years of his life. It was pretty bad.
So there's two ways to look at it. Yeah, the people that deserve to have it, yeah, they got to go through another hurdle to get it, but it's to try to
Motivate them.
is try to make people that are able to work, are able to, do a little bit and throw a little bit money back in the kitty to get out there. And 20 hours a week, that's nothing.
Yeah, it's
if you're able to work, you're mentally fit, physically fit. Listen, I've seen people.
But I mentioned a scenario where they're not mentally fit. So that just kills your argument.
No, it doesn't, because they should have a caregiver.
If they're not mentally fit, they can't work.
They should have a caregiver, and a caregiver should help them get back into the system by applying for the system again, like we said, every 6 months.
Okay, and then there's that 6 months where that person spirals down and never comes back. What I'm saying is that if you're on, let's say you, Wayne, have a terminal illness. Okay. Now, I get it. You worked your entire life. You have pensions and all these other wonderful things. But let's say you don't. And you're on Medicaid. And you're on SNAP, which they're cutting as well. Or they're going to require you to work, I think it's 80 hours a month.
Yep.
Yeah, to go ahead. And that's 18 to 64 as opposed to 18 to 54. So they're expanding the age. I don't really have an issue with that, to be honest with you. But unless you have 4 kids at home and you can't, then you're whatever you get for SNAP or anything like that will cost you more in daycare. So what do you do? Well, let's get back to, you don't have any benefits. Okay. You have a terminal disease. You're like $40 over from whatever you got or whatever you worked part-time. They kill your benefits off. You can no longer get the life-saving treatment that you need. What do you do? Because of the big, beautiful bill.
No, that's a nice scenario, but I'm not sure that's true.
you're not sure it's not either.
I'm not sure it's not either, but I'm not. We're gonna.
That's why I
this is
presented the situation.
Yeah, but I know that. But
if you lose your benefits and you're terminally ill, what do you do?
But this is the problem that I have. People throw these scenarios out there, and they don't back it up with facts. So I'm not going to throw a scenario out there that I know
doesn't need to be backed
can't
up
have
with
it.
facts.
Yes,
It's
it
a
does.
scenario.
Yes, it does. If you're going to sit there and say, "Well, this is what the big beautiful bill is going to do," and you don't have any facts to back it up, then you're telling me I don't know.
If the space aliens were to land in Connecticut today and
we're sending them to
pew,
your
pew,
front yard. Yep.
Yeah,
right?
they
Well, hold on. No, I'm basing it on fact, Wayne. Okay. In this scenario. So that's my point. You don't need fact in the scenario. Scenario is a story.
Yeah.
It's just, it's
Do you
a
think
what
out
if.
of
Yeah,
millions and millions
but
of
there's
people that
people-
are on the system, you think there's going to be a one-off someplace that there would never be any facts to ever support that ever again or support it where? No, I think there's plenty of repeats. I don't think there's just one-offs.
Oh, I'm not saying there's one. You're
If you-
right. I
if you have
agree
to
with you. Yeah.
Facts are based on, listen, 2 weeks ago we had 3 people and he had the same thing as this guy. Now we know this guy's not BS on us or whatever, but that's facts. You got facts to back that up. This guy comes in by himself and you've never heard of it before, you've got no facts. So out of millions of people with any kind of mental health, any kind of health issues, that I'm sure it's nothing's new these days,
No, it's true.
It's hard to make perfection when you pass legislation.
Yeah.
Right.
There's never
Never
perfection. Never.
So, unfortunately, every time there's changes, there's going to be some people that are going to miss the bus. But that means that somebody's got to help them make an effort to get back on the bus.
Advocate for the person if you know somebody.
Right.
I don't know.
All right, we're gonna cool ourselves down before we go back into the 90-degree weather outside, which apparently will be hotter or feel hotter than that. I don't understand that whole heat index. I don't understand.
If it's
cold
90, it's
index.
It's
90.
got something to do
Yeah.
with dew point and all other
Yeah.
stuff, and calculate all that together.
The
Like if it's
thermometer
humid
said-
out,
If you
Thermometer
do make
says
a point,
90,
then
it's
I don't
90.
get it.
Yeah.
yeah.
When we were kids, when it was 90, it was
It
90.
was
yeah.
90.
Yep.
And it was either dry or really humid.
And if
Yep.
you're standing there doing nothing and you're sweating, it's really humid.
Really.
And I'm going with the heat index at that point.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back in a minute here on SNSN.
Today's program is being brought to you by the Burns Agency in Dayville and Norwich. Home, auto, life insurance, all from a family-owned agency since 1932. Call 860-774-8549 or find them on the web at burnsagency.com and find out why you'll buy better at Burns. The Burns Agency, a Hub International company. Strain Family Motors on Route 12, Lisbon. Quality used cars like the SNSN Strain Family Motors Mobile that you will see at all SNSN sports events. Oil changes, remote car starters, all available and more in their service department. And if you really want to turn up the excitement, rent a Polaris Slingshot for the day and live it up. All available at Strain Family Motors, Route 12 in Lisbon.
It wasn't just
Life is full of choices. Life is full of choices. At Jewett City Savings Bank, we can make one choice easy, finding the right checking account. We offer a range of affordable accounts to fit your budget and needs, and each gives you the freedom to access your money the way you want, online, through our mobile app, or with your debit card. It's your money and your choice. To learn more about the account that's right for you, stop by one of our offices or visit us at jcsbank.com. Jewett City Savings Bank, member FDIC.
All right, we're back. Good morning. Welcome back to the show. Wayne, Rich, and myself, Mike, here. It's a beautiful Tuesday morning.
it's already hot.
How old are you, Wayne?
66.
And you feel like that's the age index.
75.
Later
today, ask me, it'll probably be more like 85.
What is the whole? I don't understand the whole heat index thing. What is that even supposed to mean?
I think it's a factor of a lot of things. Temperature, humidity.
Yeah, pretty much. Dew
It's
point.
just an equation
Right.
or something like that. Somebody got bored. and-
How does somebody come up with this idea, right?
It's the ability of your body to be able to replace your or temper your body's temperature, basically control your
And
body's
not,
temperature,
and not dehydrate.
and not dehydrate. So you got to drink a lot of fluid today. If you're going to go out and about, make sure you drink a lot of water.
Well,
I
you
know.
should be anyway.
Yeah, should be anyway.
You know what we've been doing at home? We've been getting all of these flavor packets, different ones, for water, and some of them are really good.
Some of them are.
Like we got A&W root beer right now, so we mix that with a seltzer water, just like an A&W soda, no sugar.
I like the grape.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too. I had a banana one yesterday.
Eh.
No, it was good.
Really?
Yeah, I don't
I'm
like
just-
the real pungent flavors. Like the one the pucker. They don't make me pucker or anything.
Lemon.
Well, see, now I like lemon. That's
Oh, I
weird.
like lemon.
Lemon
too.
and water's fine, sure.
Yep. Lemon, lime. Yep.
Why? You guys have stopped. You guys have stopped talking because I'm typing something.
No, I'm just was it Circle or something like that? They got this
Circle gets
the
this
bottle or something like that. You can put this flavoring in the water and stuff like that.
My
Drink
wife's
it.
got one of them, yeah.
Yep.
So I just looked up and just kind of being ridiculous, talking about what's the difference between some things and how much, it's like, boy, there's Bounty and then there's new improved Bounty. Who the hell's going to buy Bounty anymore if it's new and improved, right? The new, right? So and then I just kind of was curious, what's the difference between 1% and 2% milk?
So it's the quicker
1% is like
quicker
water.
picker upper
Yeah.
now.
1% is like water. If you ever pour it, you'll see it.
It used to be
You
the
can
quicker
actually see
picker
the
upper.
difference.
It almost has like a blue tint
You can
to it. Yeah.
No,
Oh.
I mean it's very thin.
Well, it just says, 1% milk fat or 2% milk fat.
Sure, it's
100
big.
calories versus about 125 calories.
Yeah. See,
Both still provide the same amount of calcium, protein, and other nutrients, just with different fat levels.
Just a little less fat. Yeah.
So why? You still need good fats. Is that a good fat or is it a bad fat? It's not like eating like a Twix bar.
Pour,
I'm not a
pour a glass of
nutritionist, I don't
1%
know.
milk and a glass of whole milk, and you'll see the difference.
Oh no! I
Yeah.
can definitely see the difference.
Yep.
I'm talking about why would somebody buy each different one from a nutritional value.
I use 2% milk.
Do we buy 2% because it's kind of like in the middle compared with all the different the different variations of milk.
Probably.
There's farm where it's like cream, right? Then there's whole milk.
I grew up on whole milk,
Me too.
right? So
There really wasn't. I
wasn't a
don't
lot of
remember
this.
even a 2% out there.
I didn't really see any of that till I got out of the Navy, late 80s.
Yeah.
Saw the 1%, 2%. And I started drinking the 2%, but, I can't even really drink the whole milk now
Yeah.
for some reason.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
It's thick.
It's too heavy.
It is.
It's filling.
So it's like, it's either 2% or 1%. I usually get 1%. If they don't have 1%, I'll get the 2%. But
Yeah.
We used to have the farm up the road when we were kids that you got the glass bottles with the little cardboard tabs in them.
Yeah.
You could go up there and buy them. I think it was 25 cents a quart. And you had a big cooler, just go in there, you took them home, brought the bottles back, and keep it going.
You remember the milkman coming to your house with 4
Yeah.
quarts?
Yep.
Glass bottles.
Yep.
And then when you were done, you'd leave them on your step. And
Yep. Out in that tin box. Yep.
Yeah.
no, we didn't have that.
actually, no, but the one we had a carrier and had 4, like each had 4
Yeah.
quadrants.
Yep.
And then they would just pick it up and they
Put
would
the milk
go.
box. You had the milk box out on your steps. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was back in the day. Now, just go down to Walmart.
Yeah.
Walmart order. Now it's a Walmart order. People
you
don't
have-
even put
do you-
step foot.
Do you do that?
My wife does, yeah.
Yeah.
She doesn't even step foot in Walmart anymore unless,
I don't blame her.
Well, you remember, what was it, 2 weeks ago? I had to go.
Just be careful with produce.
Yeah. She doesn't do a lot of produce like that. She just gets like general things,
I've never ordered groceries. My wife's never ordered groceries, and I've always said that if I ordered 6 apples, 5 of them would have worms in them. If I, I'm not taking that chance. I'm not.
So we put in a Walmart order, and Melissa did this one, and then she spent like $140, And she got bananas. We always get bananas. I'm not kidding you. They came and they were all rotten.
Mm.
And I'm like, what kind of idiot that picks this stuff thought that was a good idea?
Mm.
You know, I almost want to find that guy and say, here, you eat these right now. You tell me. Eat these bananas.
Tell me how good they are.
Yeah. I mean, two of them had big, huge bruises on the side, and they were like end of life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They belonged in banana bread, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But anyway, we had to bring it back. Then I spent another $110 because I needed ring dings.
Ring dings?
Never go.
You spent $110 on ring dings?
No. Well,
This is the snack
Snack cake guy.
cake guy, right?
Oh my god.
For
DoorDash
30
the
bucks
snack
or whatever.
cakes.
30 bucks or whatever it was.
Oh. Whatever you do, don't go to Walmart hungry. Eat first.
Oh, you've been saying that for years. Don't go to grocery
No,
shopping
no.
hungry. Don't do that.
It's very true.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, it's the difference of me spending 120 and 220.
yeah.
Oh well, no. It's
I want
like,
that snack. I want that snack. Oh yeah, that's yummy. Yeah. Okay.
It's not even that. It's like because we use a lot of frozen vegetables. So then all of a sudden I'm buying 10 bags of broccoli, and I'm buying 10 bags of green beans, 10 bags of corn. You know, and throw them all in the freezer. And Melissa's like, "Why are you buying so much?" It's not like we're not going to eat them.
Right. And they're frozen. They don't go bad.
Yeah.
Oh, if they're on sale, I can see it. Yeah.
Sure.
So this time I only bought 5 of each. So it wasn't like I bought all snack cakes. We didn't have any breakfast cereal, you know. So I got 2 big things.
Fruit
in
Loops.
well, close. Crunch berries.
Crunch.
Oh, now,
And,
now you're talking.
Red dye number 5.
yeah.
So I got crunch berries and I got Reese's
Oh, no.
cereal.
No.
It's really delicious. It's not good for you. Neither is Count Chocula, but that's delicious too.
I haven't had Count Chocula since teenager.
Frankenberry.
Since I was a teenager.
Do you know the other ones? They're the monsters.
Blueberry.
Blueberry.
Blueberry, Frankenberry, Count Chocula.
There's one more. Well, it wasn't as popular.
Obviously.
Since there's nobody in the chat room or anybody chatting, we will not get any help from them. So,
But there's people listening.
let me
gotta
tell
be.
you, just when you think no one's listening, everybody's listening.
Yep.
We've been hitting anywhere between 1,000 and 1,500 views per day.
Nice.
So, it's been nice. The other one was Yummy Mummy.
Oh,
I remember the mummy, yeah, but I don't. Okay. Yummy mummy, no?
It was like fruit flavored, kind of
okay.
like cereal. It didn't make it.
Mm.
It didn't make it compared to the other ones. So
It must be getting old. I'm getting into the Honey Nut Cheerios and the Raisin Bran with the granola crunch in it.
tell me about it. I do Wheaties.
Nah, I can't.
I'm a Wheaties
It's like eating
fanatic.
a bale of hay. Come on. No.
I eat Wheaties. That's it. I've been eating Wheaties since I was a kid.
Couldn't do it. I've tried them.
You know,
Just not for
I'm
me.
doing like the multi-grain Cheerios
Yeah.
and Crispix.
Hmm.
But yeah, I
That's
got
when
I got away from all the high sugar contented cereals.
I got a
like
box of
years ago.
cereal that's probably been expired for 6 months, but it's still good, so I'm not going to throw it out. But
Fruit Brute.
I've heard of it.
That's another one.
Wow.
I've never.
Monster
I've
Mash.
seen it,
Never
but
heard- limited edition.
Monster Mash. No.
Limited edition. That's why
Oh, I did see that. That right there is
a mix.
it's
the
a mix of
monsters.
all of a blueberry,
Yeah.
Frankenberry, and Count Chocula
Uh-huh.
with all those different marshmallows.
Vanilla and fruit. Later tropical fruit for yummy.
And then I
mummy.
couldn't find it. It was like 2 years ago. I couldn't find it, or a year ago.
Really?
I know you don't care.
And a remix in 2023. Yep.
The angry Republican strikes again. What do angry Republicans eat for breakfast?
I said already Wheaties.
Why? You know who's on the box? Bruce Jenner. The angry Republican.
Bruce Jenner has been on that box since
But
a
he
man.
was the original.
Since he was a man.
It still is.
Actually, Coco Gauff is on the box now.
Who?
Coco Gauff.
No idea.
I think she just won the French Open not long ago. She's an American tennis player.
Oh, very
Yeah.
good. Very good.
Yeah. Yeah.
She
And
was
before that,
cuckoo
it
for
was
Cocoa
Serena
Puffs.
Williams. You know who Serena Williams is?
Yes, I do.
Okay, there you go.
But that's not Coco Boff. What?
No, but
Cocoa Puffs.
Coco
Serena's retired now. Coco's the big thing in tennis.
Gotcha.
For the Americans anyway, for women's
That's
tennis.
Serena's sister. She's still playing?
No, she retired before Serena.
Oh.
Venus. No.
No, yeah. No,
They
no
made
more
all
Williams
their
sisters.
millions, and they're
Oh, yeah.
kicking back and
Hopefully enjoying it, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Guys, got anything else today, or
I think so.
Let's see. What do we got going on? Anything
Nothing.
big going on in the town?
heat?
Heat.
There's no
State-
referendums. That's done. It's really a slow part of time, of town news right now. There's maybe stuff. I mean, what would we be talking about now? Maybe some, economic development stuff. If there was any economic development stuff,
There is a
Well, there
meeting.
might be.
There is a meeting 1:00, special meeting 1:00 in the town hall to talk about
today.
Thursday.
Thursday.
talk about a possible project that was brought to our attention about 3 weeks ago.
Is this possible project already been
Or maybe it's 2 weeks ago.
in
It's public.
okay?
Yeah, it's not under wraps.
No, it's been put out there.
It's a waste to energy plant.
Okay.
They generate electricity,
Yep.
48 megawatts. So $400 million project.
Yep.
That was going in the Stotts property that they're looking at. So they made a good presentation, and me being from the generation side of things and things like that, I had some questions and things like that. So,
Mhm.
and everybody pays attention to what's happening in Hartford with utility rates and power requirements, and we're way below our needed power requirements. We need to start building more plants, and that's a problem throughout the whole nation. We need to build more generation.
And I'm going to assume that has a lot to do. The power requirements have a lot to do with the heavier and heavier PCs that are out there, because they drain a lot of stuff. AI drains an
Yeah.
incredible amount of juice.
Data centers do, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
So, yeah,
it's kind of like cell
And-
phones, I mean, when now everybody has a second line, right? Because they had their home line back in the day. So now they came up with different area codes, like 475 for Connecticut, 9 and 959.
Yeah. got more people.
We thought it was strange when 203, also expanded to 860.
Right.
So
Yeah, well, it's the same thing. Like California, they shut a lot of plants down, and then they went to electric vehicles, and they started having brownouts, blackouts because they couldn't support the loading.
well, they weren't thinking.
No, they didn't.
No.
That must have been Trump's fault.
Had to be.
Had to circle
to
back to that, right?
Had
Yeah,
to be.
had to be. No,
I just find that everything's Trump's fault,
Yeah.
or everything's not Trump's fault.
Oh,
It's like he's in the equation one way or another, and he's just a person.
no, he just says, "Bring it on." Just stands there and But
Yeah,
the funny thing about that California thing, though, they shut the plants. They relied
Hilarious.
more on wind power, solar, all that stuff. Plus, they had hydroelectric out there. And you talk about stars aligning. So the problem is that they didn't have a lot of rain that year. So their hydro wasn't putting out as
Non-existent, yeah.
much. It was non-existent,
Yeah.
right? So then they started having their brownouts, blackouts, things like. And they were telling people not to charge their electric vehicles.
Mhm.
This was a few years ago, and I'm sure they challenged the system constantly during the summertime. But yeah, it's
Well, they had
you got to
blackouts.
have
They had blackouts even before that.
you got to have options, right? You need to have other options in case something like that happens, right? They had several nuclear plants there. They shut a lot of them down except for one. One site, as far as I know, is still running, and they wanted to shut that one down. And a handful of their legislators pushed back on that, said, "No, we need to keep this running." But
They should look at putting the other ones back on the line.
some of them were getting up there in age and
Of
things
course.
like that. But they need to start. The energy department needs to start looking at being a little bit more.
I don't think it matters. The world ended in 2012.
Okay, Nostradamus. Okay. You're a little behind the times, aren't you?
No, it was CERN. It was the Hadron Collider particle
Oh yeah.
accelerator. Suck
Beautiful.
the entire universe in and then spit us out.
Oh yeah. And we're still on the ride. Okay.
Well, we're actually dreaming right
We
now.
might be. What do we know? We're just
But
a
if-
speck of dust in space. That's
If
all
you
we are.
believe every TikTok video you watch, boy, I'll tell you.
I'll give you one guess. How
That's
many
a
TikTok
rabbit.
videos? How many TikTok videos do you think I've watched?
Without you knowing it, a few hundred.
You 100?
Without you knowing they were TikTok videos.
No, not on TikTok. I didn't watch it. I probably watched it on Facebook. That's probably it.
Right. Some of them are hilarious. Now they got this thing that TikTok is going to morph into this this app called M, and people get this out there and they put it out there, and there's no proof that this is even happening. You got to and it's not just on TikTok. It's Facebook. It's YouTube Shorts. It's all this stuff. You got to. There is so much crap out there that people state it's not even funny.
Did you see the AI video that Paul sent me yesterday?
Which one? Oh yeah.
that was
Yeah.
funny. That was pretty funny.
I particularly like the AI videos with the. I'll give you a little homework project. Look up Pleasant Mart.
Pleasant Mart.
Pleasant Mart, like a convenience store. Pleasant Mart.
ART, yeah.
And the Yeti blogger. You'll laugh your ass off.
Is this PG-13 or worse?
Oh my God, man! You were in the Navy, for Christ's sakes, and you're worried about PG-13?
Don't have your
Like,
green
When
Well,
did you wuss
Well,
yourself
I got to
out?
make sure I'm not watching this with my grandkids around. You know.
You would just put it this way: don't have them anywhere near you when you do any social media, because you don't know what's going to show up. On
Oh,
that
that's
screen,
true.
That's the problem. Yeah.
That's true.
You know,
I turn it on and I look and I'm like, what the? Why is this on here? I didn't look. I don't want to look at this stuff.
yeah.
Anyway,
So here you go: the Yeti blogger and Pleasant Mart.
okay.
That's
And
your homework.
And it's worse than PG-13 by the reaction. I saw.
Pleasant Mart can be nasty. Yes, it is.
Mm.
It's not X, but it's definitely the language. But it's hilarious. I think it's hilarious.
Oh, so it's like watching Congress.
Wow. All right, that's it. I'm done. That's it. Have a good day, everyone. Wayne, thank you for
Yep.
coming in. Thank you for being pissed off. Rich,
Absolutely.
always a pleasure.
Anytime.
All right. We will see you. What's today? Tuesday.
Tuesday.
So see you Thursday.
Oh,
Somebody will be here.
yeah, well, I was trying to drag the Queen in here.
The Queen's
you know,
busy.
it's just- so I said, she should be ready to go Thursday then.
God.
It's funny. She asked who was coming in today, but then she's oh good. That's I'm busy today.
By the way, just so you know, Kathy filed a complaint with HR on the Queen comment. So
Oh, yeah.
you'll be notified of that.
right.
Okay.
We're going to the EAP next. Yeah. Listen, I ain't afraid. I've been there. Believe me.
All right. See you Thursday.